Salutations everyone, this is Razor and I'm bringing you back some Mass Effect 3 on the map London. I think it's called London. It's the one that's in London, if it's not called that. Using the human male infiltrator with the Indra sniper rifle. Now this is a very good class. Got the cryoblast, which I don't have spec'd out too much because you're gonna want to do as much weapon damage as possible with your sniper rifle. So spec out the tactical cloak for most sniper rifle damage as possible. Get that headshot multiplier in there, and I mean, I guess spec out for a couple of these piece of shit grenades that really don't do much. I think they're the worst grenades in the game. The frags are better, the arc grenades are better, the cluster grenades are better, and these ones just sticky grenades. Yeah, they're pretty useless. I know maybe they might be meant to be used tactically because you can stick them against walls and use the proximity Evo spec on it. But it just has a very small blast radius and does very little damage. So, I mean, if you wanted to put more into Cryoblast, that might be actually an even better idea. But the Cryoblast really isn't going to be that useful. It helps you for when you're trying to, take down something with a lot of armor. But that's really not going to be a common situation with this Indra right here. It's an Indra 1, so it's not, it's as simple as it can get. I got the thermal clip as my attachment, my mod, if you will, and just look how it just empties out the enemy backfield. It just shreds right through them like a lawnmower. It takes out enemy infantry like nobody's business. Like Cerberus isn't the best example. If you can get the Reapers on like a really sniper-friendly map, this thing can take out 5 cannibals with before you even reload if you're cloaked. And if you don't know, when you're cloaked, you're going to be doing more damage. And I have it spec'd out to not have its maximum duration. That's what most people feel like they should use, and that's definitely a good way to use it. But with the Indra, just the capacity that it has and the cadence between reloading and going in and out of thermal just really works. Because typically you would want a longer cloak duration because that means you can do more damage and take advantage of that buff that you get when you are cloaked. But I go for the shorter cloak here because by the time I'm out of my clip, that's when my cloak gets out. So I develop a better rhythm with the shorter cloak duration, and I can go for the other Evo spec instead. So that's why I made that choice. It's not a very popular choice, but it seems to work out with the Indra, which, as you can tell, is a very rapid-fire sniper rifle. Unlike really any sniper you've seen from most games. Most of them are bolt action or semi-automatic, but most of them are pretty low fire rate. And then you got some like Call of Duty, Dragunov, RSAS, WA2K. Our faster fire rating, but nothing as fast as this. And that's just one of the things I love about the Mass Effect 3 multiplayers. The amount of ways that you can play this game. Sure, you can play Call of Duty in a few different ways, and sure, you can play Battlefield in even more ways, but you'd be hard-pressed to find a game that you can play in different ways than Mass Effect 3, just because of the dozens of classes that they have, and all the weapons, and all of the mods, and all of this stuff. I mean, I know, like, Black Ops 2 likes to brag, it was like, oh, there's so many different combinations, but using one class setup with a concussion grenade and then using the exact same setup except with the flash really isn't a different loadout. But when go into like Mass Effect 3, your weapon makes a big difference, your class makes a big difference, as well as what character type that you're using. And the human male infiltrator here is comes standard. It's Mass Effect vanilla build. So everyone has it, and it's very, very, very good once you get your hands on this Indra. Not to say that it's the best sniper, it's definitely one of my favorites, or that the Human Infiltrator is really good. It's definitely not a very good when you compare it to other infiltrators, but the human classes typically, or at least the basic human classes, are typically going to be some of your worst out of the gate in most classes. There's just see this huge group of people. I'm just wrecking their face. Throw a couple sticky grenades to get a little bit of AoE damage in there, and maybe stagger some people that would otherwise get shots down on me. But this thing takes care of groups like nobody's business, and it's also a boss killer. One of those very, very few class setups that will be good at crowd control as well as taking out bosses, because this thing can take out groups of really low enemies, and it can also take down a brute single-handedly. You can take out as many as 2 Centurions or Marauders without having to reload, as long as you're accurate. This gun can be difficult to be accurate with in some cases, but for the most part, it's gravy, baby. I mean, as you can see, I've already got 20 headshots, and we're only like 6 minutes into the actual game. Of course, you're always going to want to be the one to go after these devices, since you do have that cloak to take advantage. So you get a couple of seconds of grace period before the enemy starts shooting at you. But this thing, look, it can tear through a sentry. It can tear through a brute. It's not very good against banshees or shielded enemies, so that's why I have the acolyte here as my secondary, which I don't even remember if I actually used in this game. But the acolyte is really good at stripping shields and barriers. So if you're going up against something, a boss unit with shields or something, just go ahead and strip them with that acolyte, and then the Indra will do its work. I don't have any ammo mods on this gun or anything, or any sniper buffs to it. This is as plain as it can get, with just a couple of level 1 mods with it for larger clip, which is definitely useful in a gun that just eats through ammo so very, very quickly. But this gun, or this weapon class setup with the Human Infiltrator and the Indra is very, very good, and it becomes silver viable very easily. I was able to knock out silver games with this class before I was even level 15. And for those of you who know, you max out at 20, and that's really when you want to, tackle your silvers and golds and platinums, of course, is when you're as strong as you can be. But if you just have, tactical cloak fully specced out, and you have teammates who aren't 100% retarded, who at least know how to hold the controller right side up, this thing could do silver wave easily, as long as you have the tactical cloak specced out, and you have a really good gun like the Indra here, can just wreck shop. The Atlases are, a little bit thing to worry about, because those missiles can catch you off guard. But, for a lot of, good maps for snipers, it's really not going to be that big of an issue. Dragoons will destroy your face if you let them get in close, but you can still take one out without even having to reload. So this gun and class setup is very, very good for taking out bosses. Not so good against shields and barriers, but it'll true through armor and health pretty easily. And it doesn't have a whole lot of recoil, but that's just the beauty of a sniper rifle with low recoil, is you can take out baddies pretty awesomely. I have the ammo piercing mod to take care of those guardians, so of course those really never are trouble when you got a sniper rifle class set up. So I'm able to just chew through this dude. Didn't even have to mail slot him. He just went down on his own, just to do the power that this Indra has. Won't be able to shoot through a foot of concrete, but for the most part, these guys aren't going to be much of a trouble. You're going to use the cryoblast just as a panic, in case a nemesis or a dragoon or phantom gets close to you, to where your sniper rifle isn't going to do very much good for you. Just throw that not snap freeze, the cryoblast in. Freeze any enemy that gets a little bit too close for comfort, whether it's a marauder or a cannibal or a husk, or if you're going up against the collectors, you got those explosive abominations. Just freeze those guys, get a safe distance from them, and then take them out without worrying about them going all explodey on you. And like I said, sticky grenades really aren't going to do much, so maybe you want to, stay away from that. But they're, always good for, I don't know, getting some staggers or, helping out your teammates. The cryoblast really isn't going to do much for damage sake. You're just going to want to use that as, as a panic attack, or for it's a armor debuff. But the Indra and the Tactical Cloak are pretty much going to take care of any sort of problems that you're going to have. You're just going to want to make sure to keep yourself at a long distance, as of course you would obviously want to do with any other sniper class setup, but this Human Infiltrator really, really sucks because it's got low shields and low health. Pretty basic, like I think it's a 750 build both ways. So, up close and personal against anything that, has a good melee, like, a Marauder or a Dragoon or a Centurion, they're going to be a big problem for you. But, sometimes you can maybe hopefully rely on your teammates to do a little bit of help ground control here for you. As you can see, I'm taking down this Phantom all by my lonesome, and just a couple of, just one reload, I was able to take him out. Obviously, they're a little too quick to try to take out in one clip, so I'm not sure if you can take him out in one clip. I highly doubt it, but that's why you have the Acolyte there as your secondary. I mean, obviously, it's not necessary. I mean, you don't even see me use it in the whole game, I don't think. But if you're playing Silver and Gold, obviously, you're going to need to utilize that for your Phantoms and Banshees and, taking care of those Atlas shields or what have you. Whatever it is that you're running up against. This gun is very, very good if you can keep everything at a long distance, which is doable in most maps. Obviously, some maps you're going to be really hard to press to be safe for the majority of that entire game. So, a map like London is pretty good. Lots of other maps, of course, are going to be very, very sniper friendly. Not too many of them are too close quarters, but with the Indra being so rapid fire and you not have to worry about missing too much, you can miss, quite often with this gun, as you wouldn't want to do with like a Mantis or Widow or Black Widow, or hell, even a Valiant at times. This gun is going to be pretty good at mid-range, more so than your typical sniper rifle, just because of the fast fire rate, so you don't have to worry about if you miss a couple times that you're going to get killed. So it's just an Indra 1 with a Human Infiltrator, or anything with a cloak really, and you'll be able to do some massive damage, good crowd control, and take out pretty much any boss unit that you want to. This thing will take care of Scions pretty handily, more so than other weapon class setups. And it's good against Cerberus. It's great against the Reapers. It's a Reaper eating machine. But it's it's doable with Cerberus. Just watch out for those Dragoons, because they will kick the shit out of you at close range. And it's good against the Collectors as well. They got some pretty heavy foot soldiers, so this thing can pretty much rip through most things without having to reload. But of course, there's more nimble units, and those ones with armor and shields are going to take a little more time to use. So you're going to want to maximize the amounts of ammo capacity that you have with this weapon, if you have that available to you. I really only have the one thermal clip attachment. I forget what it's called. Not the one that increases ammo capacity, but the one that increases the chance of you not, heating up your weapon too quickly. But as you can see here, we are not really having much problems. I only have two teammates. I got this Turian Ghost, and I think it's a Batarian is the other guy. I can't tell. But really, you're only going to need one or two teammates, as long as you can keep them off of, keep the enemies off your back. This Indra will do the rest, and be sure to go cloaked as much as possible. With the reload cadence of the Indra, it's like I said, you don't need to fully spec out this cloak for maximum duration, even though that probably would be recommended for most other weapon class setups. I just feel like it's not really that as necessary with this weapon build. The Cryo Blast and the Sticky Grenades really aren't going to do much damage anyway, so spec this puppy out for full weapon damage, and the best cloaking abilities as you need, and you will be having some pretty fun times. And this Indra is pretty awesome. Like I said, silver viable at like level 14, and you can see we got through this bronze in 15 minutes with only 3 people because this Indra just rips through pretty much anything. You just got to be wary of, getting overwhelmed at close quarters. So you just panic with that cryoblast, or, rely on a teammate to help you out, maybe with some stasis bubbles or some sort of biotics or shotguns. I don't know. I haven't actually really found a shotgun that's very useful in any of my weapon setups. Unfortunately, I just haven't been lucky with my, my Spectre packs, my Arsenal pack drops. So I'm going to show you my my build right here as we get through the scoreboard, get the full extraction. 20 headshots easy every time. You can get that in 5 or 6 waves easily. 75 kills, 75 sniper rifle kills. You're going to get a lot of assists because this thing doesn't do a ton of damage out by itself. But here's take a look at the class build. Sniper damage, recharge speed, and go for the damage because the duration really doesn't help you that much with the Indra. 3 pity points in cryoblast. I go for max sticky grenades, but as you can see, they're not that effective. So maybe max out the cryoblast. That might be better for you, especially once you get into the silver and gold for that ammo debuff. Some fitness points as for the shields, and that's pretty much it. That's the male infiltrator with the Indra. Hope you guys enjoyed. Comments always appreciated, and I will see you guys next time.